I have a story to tell you guys. It's kind of funny. So when 80 Day Obsession came out, I was doing it with, we were actually living with another family in our household at the time. When we moved to the Keys, we had two families in one household, if you guys knew back then. And the wife of the other family, I didn't know her before we moved in, but she was like, hey, I want to start working out with you. And 80 Day Obsession launched. And I was like, all right, well, I'm doing an 80-day program. So if you want to do this with me, just know this is when I'm working out. You're more than welcome to join me. Let's go. And she did it with me up until like day 65, somewhere right in there. There was a time where she was like, hey, I have a doctor's appointment and then I'll be back and we'll work out. And so I was like, all right, I'll wait for you. Okay. I hate waiting for people. Like, honestly, like I hate being on other people's time in general. I hate just like when I want to do something, I just want to do it. And it's really hard for me to be like, to wait or to be on other people's time. And what had happened is like, she went to the doctor's appointment, kind of made some excuses. It took a little bit longer. And then like when she got home, she didn't want to. And I was like, I'm not waiting for you. Like, I'm done. And I literally would get up and I would do the workout before she was like even awake. And she got mad at me. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm not on your time. This is my workout. And I told you if you wanted to join me, you were on my time. If not, you can do it on your own. Like, I was just like, there's plenty of other stuff, reasons why I was like, I'm just kind of done with you. But that was one of the main factors of the whole workout point. And because you guys, the workout is not about them. The workout was about me getting my shit together. Right? And so you have to be kind of selfish in that sense. And there's going to be times where you're going to have to press play regardless, right? Of who was supposed to do it with you or who was supposed to be there or whatever, right? You're going to have to find a way to be on your goals, right? And that's why, like, I love workout partners, but like sometimes it's hard because excuses and all this stuff starts like fluttering in, and you're just like, or you'd be like, yeah, we'll meet at the gym, and you get there and you're standing there and you're like, where are they at? Oh, I'm still driving, I'm caught in traffic. So then you're wasting 20 minutes standing there waiting for them, and you could have been just doing something. I hated that. And so that's what I love about home workouts, is it just like took all that out of the way. I was like, I can press play whenever I want. If I'm ready, I press play. And I just really always liked that aspect of it. And I've been very selfish about my health journey. Okay. Because it's not about anybody else other than me. The health journey that I am on is about me. The fact that you guys are here is a bonus. Okay. And that's what I want you to look at it as, is it is your freaking journey. It's not anybody else's. You don't have to justify it. You don't have to justify why you wake up at 4:30, Alicia. You do it because you do it for you. It has nothing to do with anybody else, right? If people want to join you, awesome. That's a bonus. But your journey is your journey. And I want you guys to remember that when somebody says, oh, I want to join you, or, oh, no, awesome. This is when I work out. This is when I press play. If you're there, awesome. If not, I work out without you. Okay. And I want you guys to remember that when it comes to coaching as well. Because, you know, there's a point where, like, you know, I got 150 coaches on the team. There's no way I can really say, did you do your workout? Did you do your workout? Are you hitting your workout? No, that's on you. That's on you, because my workout's on me. And I know if I'm pressing play, it's about me. And the fact that you're pressing play has everything to do with you. You're not pressing play for me. And I'm not pressing play for you. I'm pressing play for myself. And I want you to do the same. Okay? It's you versus you on that workout. Okay? So remember that. Remember that. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It's all about you. That's your time, mama. It's your time. Enjoy it. Push yourself, because that's the standard for the rest of your day. Your standard. And only you know if you're pushing yourself enough. I can't tell you you can lift heavier. I can't tell you you can do more reps. Nope. That's on you. And you know if you did your best. You know if you could have pushed a little harder. And it will reflect in the rest of your day as well. If you pushed yourself to that limit, guess what? The rest of your day is going to probably go by a breeze. Doesn't matter if it's a hard day or not. You've already done the hardest part. You're like, I've already sweated my ass off and been on my hands and knees. Like, nothing else can faze me. But if I half-assed it, I can guarantee you that's a reflection of the rest of your day too. Oh, poor you. Oh, life is beating you up. Oh, mama. That's how the rest of your day is going to go. So when you set that tone, remind yourself, this is for me to remind me what I'm capable of for the rest of the day. Nobody else. They don't have to get it. It's not for them. Okay? Just felt like saying that today. Because I just kicked my own ass during my workout. And I was just like, man, I just set the bar really high on day one for MBFA. Especially picking up those 15s. I need to get some 20s because I have some like 17 and a halves, and I need to get some 20s because if not, then I have to go all the way up to 25s, and I can't really do much with the 25s. I can hold one, like for like the squats, I can hold one, but then I'm like, well, I might as well hold two 15s and do 30, you know? So I'm like, I need to get some like in between weights though. So I'm gonna have to work on that now that I'm in the city and actually have access to places that sell weights. All right, so on to what I actually wanted to talk about today, which is we're going to start a book today. We're going to start an audio book today. It is going to be every Monday. We are going to listen to about 20 to 30 minutes of The Compound Effect. I think I've mentioned this before, you guys. The Compound Effect was one of those first books. My coach originally, when I first started, and she was there for like those first 3 months, this is the book she recommended to me in the beginning of my coaching business, and it has forever shaped the way I function in my coaching business, about doing all the little things every single day to line up my business, right? Like every single day I hit my workout, I drink my shake, I check in with you guys, I check in with the challengers, and those are little things. And it could be easy to skip a workout, right, here and there. It could be easy to not post in the challenge group for a day. But every single time you do or do not do that, you are either moving yourself closer or further from your goal. Okay? So all those little things, even if they may seem easy to do or easy not to do, they matter, right? Every single time you either do something or not, you're going inch, or inch, further or closer, okay? And so that's the compound effect. The compound effect is every single time you do something over and over and over and over and over again, whether it be little or small, it's gonna add up, right? Even if you message one person a day, after a month, you've messaged 30 people. I bet you could probably get one or two of them to join you, right? And that's called the compound effect. It's really, to me, it was the connection between the 5-second rule and the secret. Okay, so we've learned about both of those. The 5-second rule gets you up off your ass, and the secret moves you closer to your goal and allows you to believe that something's going to happen, right? How can you, okay, so I'm up and moving. I did the 5-second rule. Okay, I'm ready to move. The action is the compound effect. Okay, and the compound effect will move you closer to your overall goal or your dream, which is your secret, right? Like the secret is like, oh, you believe and you channel that energy and you have faith, and eventually your goal will appear, and maybe you don't have everything lined up in between, but somehow you achieve it, right? It's just by believing and having faith and keeping that in your heart that you're going to achieve something. So it's like you have the 5-second rule to get you up, and then you have this secret to have faith. But what do we do in between? Right? I'm ready to move. Now what am I supposed to be doing? That's where the compound effect comes into play. It's going to give you tangible things to actually put into action that are going to start moving you forward to your ultimate goal. Okay? So I love the compound effect. The compound effect is like the underlying like consistency. It's the consistency that will create the overall goal or dream in the long run. But you have to be consistent every single day in these small little tasks, or, you know, just like hitting your workout every single day is part of your task to moving yourself forward to losing the weight, gaining the muscle. You know, it's like if you skip workouts, you're not going to just randomly get a bunch of muscle, right? You have to work the muscles every single day to get the muscles larger. So that's the compound effect. It's every single rep. It's every single minute. It's every single workout. That is the compound effect over and over and over again. Eventually you're going to see results. Okay. You can't just do one workout and then have ripped arms. It makes sense when you put it like that. So I'm going to introduce you guys to the compound effect, and every Monday we will just be doing a book study, basically. I just thought that would be something kind of fun. I know we really enjoyed that when we did Rachel Hollis a couple months ago, but it's been a while. We've just been like freeballing it. And so I was like, we need to get back on like something kind of tangible or something that we can look forward to. Even like we have like music day on Thursday, and Friday is workout day, Monday is now compound effect day. Okay. So let me, it is just an audio book, so it's not going to be like a video. So just feel free to pop some earbuds in, do the dishes, like whatever you want to do. Maybe have a notebook kind of close. We're just going to go over the beginning of it, so it might not be like too intense until we get further into the book. But don't feel like you have to like stare at the screen or anything like that, unless you want to. You can look at my face. All right. Oh, let me, you guys can't see that yet. No. Top secret stuff for the coach training. Okay. So let me go into my library here. By the way, this is how I listen to all my audiobooks. I'm kind of one of those people, like I bop around on my personal development. Like I have about 6 different books where I'm like in the middle of them. And just like depending on what I feel like I need for that day, I will just kind of click on different things and listen to different books. So like a lot of these books I'm not really finished with, but I've started or I've listened to chapters of. I'm just kind of like that. I'm like ADD when it comes to my personal development. Okay.
This book is dedicated to Jerry Hardy.
So the beginning is really just going to lay down the foundation of who Darren Hardy is, who he spoke to write these, articles and things like that. And it really just kind of gives you like his credibility of who he is, where he comes from, just so you can know that like he is a legit person. He is the like CEO, I think, of Success Magazine, which you'll probably hear that as well. And you can even look up, if you look up Darren Daily, he does 1-minute little videos that will be like sent to your email every single morning. And they're just like little motivational, like they're like usually like 1 minute to 5 minutes, just like little videos that you can listen to every morning to just like get the brain thinking or whatever. But you can look it up. It's called Darren Daily. I think they're on YouTube, but you can also get them like sent to your email. But his name is Darren Hardy. Cool. All right, ladies, let's get started.
Hardy, my best man, my dad.
Oh.
You will also learn.
Ayo, get back there.
This is Audible.
The Compound Effect. Multiply your success one simple step at a time by Darren Hardy.
read by the author. Before we jump into the book, I wanted to take just a quick moment to thank you for honoring me with your time and attention, and for joining me on this amazing journey. We have poured a lot of love and care into this book, and now this audio program to be the very best it could be. So it really could make a transformational difference in your life. You will learn that I am fastidious about delivering results, tangible, measurable results. To do that, this piece of work needed to be world class. I believe, and I hope that you'll agree, that what we have crafted for you here is a powerful resource that will help you create the life you desire. I also want to express my excitement about having the ability to use this audio book format to help make the concepts in the compound effect come alive for you. You see, a printed book has some confinements, as it requires strict guidelines of flow, pace, voice, and perspective. You have to color within the lines, so to speak. This isn't to mention the many editors taking their red pen sword and slashing away at my text. So, in the final editing stages of the book, we had to cut several of the compelling stories, tips, and insights from some of my favorite interviews with several of today's most amazing thought leaders. Well, I'm thrilled to tell you that as we take this journey together through the audiobook, I'm going to include back in those additional anecdotes and ideas from some of today's super achievers that I've had a chance to work with and interview. This will help reinforce, add clarity, depth, color, and texture to the key ideas we'll discover together in our trip through the compound effect. You will also learn how these critical principles have been utilized and lived out in the lives and success stories of the many extraordinary people you now read about in the pages of Success and everywhere else. And one last note, on thecompoundeffect.com, I've provided you with a whole slew of additional and free downloadable, printable resources that will further help you define your goals and help you track your progress, so you can be sure the principles and the knowledge you'll gain are transferred into action and thus results in your life. Now, get ready to multiply your success, one simple step at a time. Before we jump into the introduction, let me exercise one of the important principles of the compound effect by paying gratitude to the two men who made me and this book possible. This book is dedicated to Jerry Hardy, my best man, my dad, the man who taught me the principles of the compound effect through his own life's example, and to Mr. Jim Rohn, my mentor, the man who taught me, amongst many things, to talk about things that matter to people who care. Introduction. This book is about success and what it really takes to earn it. It's time somebody told it to you straight. You've been bamboozled for too long. There's no magic bullet, secret formula, or quick fix. You don't make $200,000 a year spending only 2 hours a day on the internet. Lose 30 pounds in a week. Rub 20 years off your face with a cream. Fix your love life with a pill. Or find lasting success with any other scheme that is too good to be true. Hey, wouldn't it be great if you could buy your success, fame, self-esteem, good relationships, health and well-being in a nicely clamshelled plastic package at the local Walmart? But that's not how it works. Look, we are constantly bombarded with increasingly sensational claims to get rich, get fit, get younger, get sexier, all overnight with little effort and for 3 easy payments of $39.95. These repetitive marketing messages have distorted our sense of what it really takes to succeed. We've lost sight of the simple but profound fundamentals of what it really takes to be successful. I'm tired of it. I won't sit back and watch these reckless messages derail people any longer. I wrote this book to take you back to the basics. I'm going to help you clear the clutter and bring focus to the core fundamentals that matter. You will be able to immediately implement in your life the exercises and time-tested principles this book contains to produce measurable and sustainable results. I'm going to teach you to harness the power of The compound effect, the operating system that has been running your life, for better or for worse, whether you know it or not. Use this system to your advantage and you truly can revolutionize your life. You've heard you can achieve anything you set your mind to, right? Well, only if you know how. The compound effect is the operator's manual that teaches you how to master the system. When you do, there's nothing you can't obtain or achieve. So how do I know that the compound effect is the only process you need for ultimate success? Firstly, I've proven these principles to work in my own life, for real. Now, I hate it when authors beat their chest about their fame and fortune, but I think it's important that you know that I speak from personal experience, having done it myself. I'm offering you living proof, not regurgitated theory. The principles you'll read in this book are the reason why I was earning more than $1 million a year by age 24 and built a company to do more than $50 million by age 27. For the past 20 years, I've been intensely studying success and human achievement. My own life has been a personal laboratory of study and research. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars testing thousands of different ideas, resources, and philosophies. Through my own failings and triumphs, I've figured out which ideas and strategies have merit and which are sheer malarkey. My personal experience has proven that no matter what you learn or what strategy or tactic you employ, success comes as a result of the operating system of the compound effect. Secondly, for the past 16 years now, I've been a leader in the personal development industry, working closely with hundreds of top writers, speakers, and thought leaders. I've trained tens of thousands of entrepreneurs, advised many large companies, and personally mentored dozens of top CEOs and high-performance achievers. From thousands of those case studies, I've extracted what really matters and what works and what doesn't. Thirdly, as publisher of Success Magazine, I sift through thousands of article submissions and books, help choose the experts we feature in the magazine, review all of their material, and each month I interview a half dozen top experts on a multitude of success topics and drill down to their best ideas. All day, every day, I am consuming, sorting, filtering, and wading through an ocean of personal achievement knowledge. Here's my point. When you have such an exhaustive view of an entire industry and the wisdom gained through studying the teachings and best practices of some of the world's most successful people, an amazing clarity emerges. The underlying fundamental truths become crystal clear. Having seen it, read it, and heard most of it, I can no longer be fooled by the latest gambit or self-proclaimed prophet with the newest quote-unquote scientific breakthrough. Nobody can sell me on the latest gimmick. I have too many reference points. I've gone down too many roads and learned the truth the hard way. As my mentor, the great business philosopher Jim Rohn said, there are no new fundamentals. Truth is not new, it's old. You've got to be a little suspicious of the guy who says, hey, come over here. I want to show you my new manufactured antiques. No, you can't manufacture new antiques. They're old. What this book is about, with all the unnecessary noise, fat, and fluff removed, is what really matters. What really works. Those half a dozen basics that, if focused on and mastered, constitute the operating system that can take you to any goal you desire and help you live the life you were meant to live. This book contains those half a dozen fundamentals. They comprise the operating system called the compound effect. Let me put it to you as simply as I can, and it's this. Success is not doing 5,000 things really well. Success is doing a half dozen things really well 5,000 times. So the key then is, what are those half dozen things, and how do you do them really well? That is what this book details. Now, before we dig in, I do have one warning. Contrary to commercial promotion, earning success is hard. The process is laborious, tedious, sometimes even boring. Becoming wealthy, influential, and world-class in your field is slow and arduous. Don't get me wrong, though. You will see results in your life from following these steps almost immediately. But if you have an aversion to work, discipline, and commitment, you're welcome to turn the TV back on and put your hope in the next infomercial. You know, the one with the circus barker touting promises of overnight success, only if you have access to a major credit card and can call right now. Here's the bottom line. You already know all that you need to succeed. You don't need to learn anything more. If all we needed was more information, everyone with an internet connection would be living in a mansion, have abs of steel, and be blissfully happy. New or more information is not what you need. A new plan of action is. It's time to create new behaviors and habits that are oriented away from sabotage and toward success. It's that simple. You are about to discover a detailed, tangible plan of action. Let it shake up your expectations, eliminate your assumptions, ignite your curiosity, and bring value to your life, starting right now. This is the best of everything I've heard, seen, studied, and tried. It's the best of what we bring you every month in Success Magazine, all in one life-changing little book. And it is simple. So, are you ready? In good Jim Rohn fashion, if you're ready, say, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's get started. Chapter 1, The Compound Effect in Action. You know that expression, slow and steady wins the race? Ever heard of the story of the tortoise and the hare? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the tortoise. Give me enough time and I will beat virtually anybody, anytime, in any competition. Why? Not because I'm the best or the smartest or the fastest. I'll win because of the positive habits I've developed and because of the consistency I'll use in applying those habits. I'm the world's biggest believer in consistency. I'm living proof that it's the ultimate key to success. Yet, it's one of the biggest pitfalls for people struggling to achieve. Most people don't know how to sustain it. I do, and I have my father to thank for that. In essence, he was my first coach for igniting the power of the compound effect. I was a strange child, I admit. I think I was born an adult. My parents divorced when I was only 18 months old, and my dad raised me as a single father. He wasn't exactly the soft, nurturing type. He was a former university football coach, and he hardwired me for achievement. Thanks to Dad, wake-up calls were at 6 a.m. every morning, and not by a loving tap on the shoulder or even the soft sounds of a radio alarm. No, I was awakened each morning by the repetitious, pile-driving sound of iron pounding on the concrete floor of our garage, which was situated right next to my bedroom. It was like waking up 12 feet from a construction zone. He had painted a huge "No pain, no gain" sign on the wall of the garage, which he stared at while he did his countless old-school strongman deadlifts, power cleans, lunges, and squats. Rain, sleet, or shine, Dad was out there in his shorts and tattered sweatshirt. He never missed a day. You could set your watch by his routine. I had more chores than a housekeeper and gardener put together. Upon returning from school, there was always a list of instructions to greet me. Pull weeds, rake leaves, sweep the garage, dust, vacuum, do the dishes, you name it. And getting behind in school wasn't tolerated. That's just the way it was. Dad was the original no excuses guy. We weren't ever allowed to stay home from school sick unless we were actually puking, bleeding, or quote-unquote showing bone. The term showing bone came from his coaching days. His players knew that they weren't allowed to come out of the game unless they were seriously injured. One time his quarterback asked to be pulled out of a game, and Dad said, "Not unless you're showing bone." The quarterback pulled back his shoulder pads, and sure enough, his collarbone was sticking out of his neck skin. Only then was he allowed to come off the field. One of Dad's core philosophies was, it doesn't matter how smart you are or aren't. You need to make up in hard work what you lack in experience, skill, intelligence, or innate ability. If your competitor is smarter, more talented, or experienced, you just need to work 3 or 4 times as hard. You can still beat them. No matter what the challenge, he taught me to make up in hard work for wherever I might be disadvantaged. Miss free throws at the game? Do 1,000 free throws every day for a month. Not good at dribbling with your left hand? Tie your right hand behind your back and dribble for 3 hours a day. Behind in your math? Hunker down, hire a tutor, and work like hell all summer until you get it. No excuses. If you aren't good at something, work harder, work smarter. He walked his talk, too. Dad went from being a football coach to a top salesperson. From there, he became the boss and ultimately went on to own his own company. But I wasn't given loads of instruction. From the beginning, Dad let us figure it out. He was all about taking personal responsibility. He didn't hammer on us every night about homework. We just had to show up with the results. And when you did, you were celebrated. If we got good grades, Dad would take us to this place called Pring's, an ice cream parlor where you could get these giant king banana splits, 6 scoops of ice cream, and all the fixings. Sometimes my siblings didn't fare as well in school, so they didn't get to go. Getting to go was a big deal, so you worked your butt off to win the trip. Dad's discipline served as an example for me. Dad was my idol. I wanted him to be proud of me. I also lived in fear of disappointing him. One of his philosophies is, be the guy who says no. It's no great achievement to go along with the crowd. Be the unusual guy, the extraordinary guy. That's why I never did drugs. He never harped on me about it, but I didn't want to be that guy who just went along because everybody else was doing it. And I didn't want to let Dad down. Thanks to Dad, by age 12, I had mastered a schedule worthy of the most efficient CEO. Sometimes I griped and moaned, hey, I was a kid. But even then, I secretly liked knowing that I had an edge over my classmates. Dad gave me a serious head start on the discipline and mentality it takes to be dedicated and responsible, to achieve whatever I set out to achieve. Hey, it's no accident that the tagline of Success Magazine is, what achievers read. Today, Dad and I joke about what an addictive overachiever he trained me to be. At 18, I was making a 6-figure income in my own business. By age 20, I owned my own home in an upscale neighborhood. And as mentioned before, by age 24, my income grew to more than $1 million a year. And by age 27, I was officially a self-made millionaire with a business that brought in more than $50 million in revenue. That just about brings us to present day, because I'm not yet 40, but have enough money and assets to last my family the rest of my life. To this, Dad says, hey, there are a lot of ways to screw up a kid. At least my way was a pretty good one. You seem to have done pretty well. So, while I admit I have had to practice sitting on my hands and being present in the moment, or chilling out peacefully in a beach chair from time to time, without taking a pile of business books and self-improvement CDs with me, I'm grateful for the success skills I learned from my dad and my other mentors along the way. The compound effect reveals the quote-unquote secret behind my success. I'm a true believer in the compound effect because Dad made sure that I lived it each and every day until I couldn't live any other way if I tried. But if you're like most people, you're not a true believer yet. There are lots of perfectly understandable reasons why. You haven't had the same coaching and example showing you what to do. You haven't experienced the payoff of the compound effect. As a society, we have been deceived. We have been hypnotized by commercial marketing, which convinces you of problems you don't have and sells you on the idea of insta-fixes to cure them. We've been socialized to believe in fairy tale endings found in movies and novels. We've lost sight of the good, old-fashioned value of hard and consistent work. Let's examine these hurdles one by one. You haven't experienced the payoff of the compound effect. The compound effect.
Okay. I'm going to actually stop it right there because I think that's kind of like a good little stopping point. This is about 20 minutes of it. Just to kind of get you guys, scratch the surface, right? Okay. So let's talk about this. So I love the idea that he kind of talks about his dad in the first of just like how he likes to work out and like how his dad is just like, work hard, no excuses, go to the ends of the earth, like sweat it out, figure it out. I love that aspect. And like he even said like, if I was going to mess you up, at least I messed you up to be like successful, like maybe I had maybe it was a little hard on you when you were younger, but look at you now, almost like you're welcome, and so I think sometimes we we look back on how our parents were hard on us, or maybe how our parents weren't hard on us, and how that has shaped or reflected who we are as adults, right? My dad was very hard on me. My dad was like this guy, probably this guy's dad, probably even harder. My dad was no excuses, get out there, do the work, get in the hole, dig with the shovel. I mean, when I was 5 years old, we had moved to Ohio from Colorado. And we didn't really know that many people, and I actually missed the cutoff to start kindergarten. And so I actually went to work with my dad as a 5-year-old for an entire year because he was self-employed and I couldn't go with my mom. She worked at the bank. We didn't have, I don't know if they couldn't quite afford it or if they just didn't know anybody at the time to watch me. But I sat in my dad's backhoe every single day as a 5-year-old. As he dug septic tanks, dug basements, did driveways. I sat in his backhoe. I would sit in his truck for hours while he went to an auction to go buy equipment. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Like I just used to sit and my dad would put me to work. He would get me in a ditch and he would say, shovel that out and hold the little meter and make sure it's level. And I was 5 years old out there putting manual labor in. And I remember those days very, very vividly. And I think that they really did shape a lot of who I became watching my dad grind every day, physical, manual labor, I think really did shape who I became later on. And then I also look at my mom, who didn't even graduate high school. She ended up getting her GED later on, after she was a little older. And when she moved to Ohio, she got a receptionist job at the bank. She was a receptionist, just the person that answered the phones. And now she's the vice president of that bank, right? My mom started out as the receptionist, moved her way up to HR, moved her way up to executive HR, and then eventually now, the last 5 years, has been the probably 8 years now, I forget, probably 7 years or so, she's been the vice president of that bank. And so I think when you look back, or you have to kind of take a look at your parents and see what they shaped for you, right? What did they lay out for you? What did you see them do, good or bad, that has now shaped what you do, right? And so there were things that my parents did that were really good. And there were things that I'm like, I'll probably be a little different, right? So it might be one or the other. You might look at your parents and really look up to them and be like, wow, I hope that, I have a marriage like them and I raise my kids like them and I have a family and work like them. Or you may think, man, I hope I do nothing like them. I hope I do everything the opposite way. I hope I can look at them and use them as an example of what not to do, right? So either way, whether you have one or the other, you can use them as a roadmap, right? What did they do? What did they not do? Right? Do they get up and work out every day? Are they overweight? Are they unhappy in their job? Do they love their job? Are they successful? Are they genuinely happy? Right? So you could start to kind of look at our parents a little bit and see, has it shaped you to be who you are and where you are right now? Because I would hands down say my parents absolutely shaped where I am and how I got here. My dad, forever an entrepreneur. He used to just come home at 2:00 on a Tuesday and I'd be like, what are you doing home? And he's like, I do whatever I want. He's like, I own my own business. I'm not working today, or blah, 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 or, whatever it was. But I think I really absorbed that because I hate being on other people's time. I hate going to work from 9 to 5 for other people. It literally sucks the soul out of me. Even if I loved my job, I've even had some amazing jobs, but it's the fact that I had to be there at 8 a.m. I hated it. I don't know what it was, but I think it's just because I absorbed that from my dad. right? I saw my dad have that flexibility. I saw my dad have that freedom, and where now it also, his paychecks always fluctuated too, right? So here's the difference too, is like my mom, boom, 9 to 5, last 25 years, same job, same place, showing up at work. And my dad was more, I'll work and then I won't work and then I'll go fishing for a week and then I'll come and then I'll bust ass and then I'll make twice as much the next week. And so his was always kind of like up and down, right? And so my dad, sometimes he was really happy, things were going good, and sometimes he was not so happy because things were not going well, right? Or he didn't have work, or money was a little slow, or a job didn't go the way. Now my mom was consistent. She got that paycheck every 2 weeks. She went to work 9 to 5, got that paycheck, boom. She got paid. There was no question about it. Salary, right? Like she knew what she was going to get paid every Friday. My dad was more the other side of like, ooh, I think this is coming in. If I can get this job done and da 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 da. And, you know, or if I can get this job, then I'll get the deposit and then we'll have money. It was interesting to grow up with the both of them, right? To have that consistent factor, watching my mom get up every single day and do her routine, her morning routine and her makeup at the same time, at the same place, the same style, you know, and she'd go to work and do her routine and come home about the same time. So I had that like consistency, but then I also saw my dad's freedom. But I also saw the inconsistency in my dad's business as well. And so, which really also affected the way and how happy my dad was. Money ruled my dad a lot. He allowed it. If business was good, you knew. I knew when my dad's business was good, but I also knew when my dad's business was bad. It really affected him emotionally and the way that he functioned in his family. It was completely different on whether business was good or bad. My mom, consistent, never even questioned it. She was always pretty much consistent as well. And so I have this like mixture in me of like, I see the solid foundation and consistency, but I also enjoyed the freedom and the flexibility. And so I think I've been trying to take the both of them and merge them into the business that I have now, where I have a schedule. I have certain things that I do every single day. I'm getting up and pressing play at the same time every single day, really trying to create consistency and a schedule. But also with Beachbody, as you guys know, it's flexible, right? Some days I put in a little bit more work than the other days. Some days I sell more challenge packs than the other days, right? But also the amount of team that I have, I can also guarantee that I'm going to have some money from my team cycle bonuses just because I have you guys. So it's like I have that consistency factor, but then it's also flexible depending on how well I do or how well I don't do, or maybe I took a week off, or maybe I really pushed, or we had a launch. So I might have some paychecks that are a little bit better. But I also have a consistency factor with my team, with team cycle bonuses. So I can pretty much guarantee at some level I'm going to be getting a certain income, which is kind of interesting to see how my life and the things that I gravitated towards just based off looking at what my parents did, right? And so maybe I need to take a step back and be like, well, what did my parents do? What did my parents do for work? What did I see from them that I've maybe absorbed, good and bad, right? And it's nothing against them. You know, I mean, if you're like, man, you know, my dad really allowed money to affect his mood. I didn't realize that money affected my mood until I met Mike, and he like told me. He's like, wow, like when you got money, you're like really happy, and like when things are going rough, you're like not so happy. And I just didn't realize that like how much money affected my mood, but it's because I learned that, right? Like I learned from my dad that when money was good, you were good because you could go buy things and you could go do things and you could go whatever. And when money wasn't good, it was shitty because you couldn't do anything, or you didn't have groceries in the house, or blah, blah, blah. And it was like, you know, a roller coaster, a constant roller coaster with him. It was a guessing game. Okay, is dad good this week? okay, I see him working, so he must be doing well. Oh, he just bought a new car. Okay, he must be doing well. Like that. It was like literally a guessing game as a child. And I'm realizing as an adult, may not necessarily be the best thing, but it's a really hard trait to get rid of as well, right? I can't help but be happy on Thursday because I got a paycheck in my account. I'm like a little excited, but then I'm trying to level myself as well and say, okay, but money doesn't make you happy. So you need to be happy regardless, Jenny. And then the money is a bonus. Money is something that's validating the work you're doing for your bills or whatever. Right? And so it's interesting just in this first little section, get you thinking, right? And get your wheels turning of like, wow, I am pretty consistent in this area. And it makes sense because that's kind of how my dad was too. Or wow, I'm kind of inconsistent in keeping a job because, well, my mom also, took any job that she could every 6 weeks or something, or every year she was getting a new job. So that's all I've ever really seen, So just something to think about when you're looking at the compound effect. And so we will be listening to this every Monday. And we'll just it's about I think it's almost 5 hours. So if we listen to it for about 30 minutes a day, we should probably get done with it in about 10 weeks or so. I think it takes a little bit of time to kind of understand the compound effect and he'll kind of work it in. But then once you get into some of the further stories, you guys, it really is an amazing book. And I'm going to tell you right now, it changed my life. And thank God I read it in the beginning of my coach career, because I feel like the only reason I am where I am is because I listened to the compound effect on repeat for the first year of my business. Repeat, straight up. It was the only thing in my car, and I would just change out the DVDs all the time. And it was just like compound effect in my head. Small little things matter is basically what I would always say to myself is like, even when it's Sunday night and I'm like, man, I really kind of just want to sit down, I'll message one extra person. You want to know why? Because every little small thing matters. And I always thought maybe if I messaged one more person, or if I posted one more thing in my stories or whatever, or commented on one first thing, that was me being one step further than anybody else, than all the people that did put down their phone or that did say, I'll do that tomorrow. That put me one step further than them every single time. And over 4.5 years, it's put me where I am and the other people where they are. Right? Even just, I was talking to Melissa, was messaging me last week, and she was telling me about how she usually goes to bed after 8 o'clock, and it's just, she's really getting tired, and she's like, but I started this new thing where I'm holding myself accountable at 8 o'clock. I'm messaging 5 people, right? And it may only take you a couple extra minutes, 15, 20 minutes, maybe if you have a little conversation or you can get them kind of talking, it might be a little bit longer. But every time she does that, put her one step closer, one step closer, one step closer. Because now she's talking to 25 people a week, right? And how cool is that when you think of, even if you did it one person, right? 1 to 5 people a day. And if you only did 4 and you happen to do that 5, maybe you were only doing 4 and now you're like, I'm going to bump it up to 5. That 5th person, every time it's going to compound and compound and compound. And now over a month, you've talked to an extra 30 people just by adding 1 person a day. And over the course of a year, now you've messaged, I don't know, I'm really terrible at math. What's 12 times 30? Like 300 people, right? Isn't that right? I mean, that's a lot of people. Now you compound that over the 4.5 years that I've done that. That's 1,200 people by adding 1 person a day. 1,200 people I talked to. That's a lot, right? If you really think about it, and you look at it in the long haul, right? Because in the moment you might say, oh, that 1 person doesn't really matter. I'll just message 1 tomorrow, right? And then you go the next day and you're like, oh, I forgot. Oh, I'm so tired. I'll message one tomorrow, right? And you keep pushing it off and you keep pushing it off. But what if you just said, why don't I just message that one person? Why don't I just message that one person? One more person. And every day you do that. It's 1,200 people in 4 years, which 4 years is going to go by anyway, right? I mean, regardless, the 4 years is going to happen. So take the 2 seconds and message the one extra person and create some compound. Create some momentum for yourself, because that's what's going to happen. It's going to compound over time. You may not see it every day. And he'll kind of talk about this as like, it may seem easy to do, and it's just as easy not to do. It's just as easy to say, I'll message that person tomorrow. But it's just as easy to say, I'm going to message them right now. Okay? And so that's where the compound effect is really going to come into play, and you're going to see the ripple effect, right? You guys have heard of like the butterfly effect. One decision can change the whole course, because you might just talk to that one person that does want to join you and does want to do that coach account, and actually ends up signing up some people, and now you're receiving Team Cycle bonuses because you added that one person to your team that picked it up and went with it, right? I remember back when I added Tennille, that one person doubled the amount of coaches on my account at the time. Just by adding Tennille, and she added, I mean, like literally within like the first 3 months, I think she had like 10 coaches. And at the time, I only had like 20 coaches tops, you know? And so just by adding her, that allowed 30 coaches on my team. One decision, one person can change the whole thing. Okay? So that's what we're going to start working on Mondays, is the compound effect. How to create that consistency, that just small little changes, right? Small little changes, like taking pop out of your diet. One small little change can compound the amount of sugar you're not adding into your body, the amount of carbs you're not adding into your body by taking pop out of your life will compound so much. It's insane. It's like if you were only drinking like one pop a day, I think it's like if you were doing that over the course of every day, it's like 2 cups of sugar that you like take out of your digestive system just by taking one pop a day out of your body. Okay, so I'm excited to learn this with you guys. I'm excited to work through this with you. I think that it's really going to take us like, boom, up to that next level, not just in our fitness, not just in like, you know, coaching, but in life, right? In life, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Okay, so remember that. It's like one of my favorite quotes. It's one of those things that like whenever I feel like half-assing something, I'm like, oh, what are you gonna do, Jen? Half-ass the rest of the day too? Like there's a little voice in my head that comes in. It's like, ain't happening. Take this extra 2 seconds to do it right. Okay. So, whew. All right, ladies, I hope you have a fantastic Monday. Also, I actually wanted to talk to Kristen and Elika. I have both of you guys here. We have a full moon coming up on the 2nd. Are you guys interested in doing something for that? I would love to do some like moon water. And then I was thinking maybe like a sunset yoga, if Elika would be interested in running something like that. Do we do it on the 2nd or the 1st?
I would say full moon. Yes. On the 2nd.
So it would technically always be the night before, because the night the moon is rising. So is how we would do it. And yoga would be awesome. She should do mindful meditation during yoga.
I need that.
And I'm actually putting together a September calendar that I'll put out on the Warrior Women Challenge group tomorrow. Stop, please. Be patient.
I need that.
You can't have it. So I'll put that out tomorrow, and it'll kind of go over moon phases and things you should be channeling throughout that time. That way, if people want to do it throughout the whole month, they have the availability to do so.
Okay, awesome. So we would technically do it, it would be like tomorrow night. Is that right? That would be the first, because the full moon is on the second, and so you would want it when it's rising. Is this like too last minute to like throw something together? Elika, do you think that you could do like a little like meditation and small yoga for us tomorrow night? Are you guys interested in doing something like that? Even if it's a small group, I just thought it would be fun to kind of give it a go, and we can like try it out, and then if we really like it and it works, then we can like maybe plan for it like the following month. Are you interested? Are you busy tomorrow, Elika? Throwing you out like
No.
right here. So it would be,
I mean, I'm busy in the day. Like I've got stuff going on during the day, but the evening is fine. So it probably won't be like a super long practice, just because I won't have time to put a really long practice together because I've got a busy day today too. But yeah, what time are we thinking? Like I would be good to do anytime, probably like after 8 or 8:30.
okay. So let me see when the sun sets.
So I don't know if that's too late for people, but
No, I think that's perfect because you don't want
The sun needs to be completely down,
Yeah.
so it's something that has to happen late.
yeah.
yeah, because we just do like, usually our family time is in the evening, you know what I mean? Like we usually eat dinner late and chill and watch a couple shows with the kids on Tuesday nights. So like, 9 or after would be awesome. 9:30,
I could
9:15.
do like a 9. I could do a 9. We could do like 9 to 9:30. Just something like short and sweet. Just like do like a quick meditation and small yoga, and then we just set out our moon waters, and then like that will be it. And maybe Kristen, maybe you can post something in the challenge group to say like what we can do, how to do our moon waters, so we can come ready as well. So everybody come with their waters in a jar, and like maybe you could suggest like crystals or colors, or just say like, hey, depending on what chakra you're looking to put up, maybe put that color around it, or I don't know how it all works, so I'm just like making things up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have, especially for the ladies that are on right now, if you guys are interested in doing it, is really like, if you want to, whether you want to do it family focused or business focused or whatever it is focused, really write down your intentions. I'll post something general about the moon phase that we're working with right now, and then really I want you guys to write down your intentions, fold it up, and put it underneath your glass jar. So
Come with that.
Yeah, Kristen, do you want me to like, maybe I'll just write a couple sentences and like message them to you. You can just include it in whatever post you put on the Warrior Women page. That way you and I both aren't posting about the event. You know what I mean? Like just to keep it as few communications as possible. Like I'll just give you my piece and then you can post it.
that sounds good too. Plus then I can give people a little bit of guidance based off of what you're going to be doing for intentions to write down.
That sounds good.
Awesome. I'm so excited. Okay, so put it in your calendars. Tomorrow evening at 9 o'clock, we are going to meet and do a mindful meditation, a little yoga. We're going to put some moon water out. And then we just have to remember to get it before the sun rises the next morning. So you got to get it, right?
Yeah, some people actually don't even they don't leave it out a full night. They get it before they go to bed because they're not early risers. I know a lot of us wake up early and work out, but you do want to make sure that the sun isn't up before you be tainted.
Okay. All right. Ooh, I'm excited. And this is our first go at it, so it'll just be kind of fun. It'll be kind of like our trial group. So if it's a small group, that's totally fine. And then what we can do is kind of work out the kinks, and then we can talk about it for the following month. And we'll have a whole month to kind of talk about it and share our experience with it, and maybe tweak it if we want to change it at all. But this will be like our first little test group of it. How about that? Oh, I'm excited. Okay, I'm putting it in my calendar right now before I get you guys off here, because if not, I'll forget. Okay. Moon yoga, moon water yoga, full moon. There we go. At 8 a.m. 8 p.m. Okay. All right, ladies. Oh, not 8 p.m. I'm sorry, 9 p.m. Glad I caught that. 9 p.m. Okay. All right, ladies. That should be fun. I'm going to do it outside, like out on my back patio and just kind of set up my phone. It'll probably be dark, right? So we don't have to worry about trying to like see each other or anything like that. But as long as I can maybe put my headphones on and hear Elika, then I can just listen to what she's guiding me through and just follow along. Thank you guys for kind of doing that on a whim too. I meant to message you guys over the weekend and I've been working on all this coach training stuff. So it's like, all of a sudden I was like, wait, full moon. Don't want to miss it. I don't want to wait another month. Awesome. All right, ladies, I hope you have a fantastic Monday. I will see you guys tomorrow for Warrior Hour, and then we will work on the full moon. I'll reiterate it tomorrow as well, just in case anybody jumped off or didn't get to see it. Kristen, you post in the group about it, and then I will also probably post as well, just so they're going to see my post and they'll see your post. So honestly, the more we talk about it, the better. Feel free also, Elika, if you want to invite any of your challengers or you want to share it in your group or anybody wants to share it with their challengers or friends, it can be completely open and we can share the Zoom link with anybody, even if they're not a challenger. Maybe they're just a friend or something like that. It'd be just kind of fun. So let's do it. All right. All right, ladies, I hope you have a fantastic day, okay? Bye.